Hey VC, how you doing? This is Christian down here in Santiago, Chile, doing my part 3 of this installment that I have decided to make just taking the recent birthday that Metallica's Kill 'Em All had a couple of weeks ago, celebrating 40 years in this 2023. So I decided to choose or show you 5 albums from 1983, although I wasn't hearing all those albums back in the day when they were released, but 83 I think was the starting point in my music journey, listening to these kind of cool bands, artists, new style of music, new sound, new approach, new way the music was played, and it really affected me and helped me to discover this cool way of listening to music different from everything that was played or back in the day on the radios here in Santiago. It was of course mostly what they got from the Billboard back in the day. It also they were playing the top 40s and a lot of mixed with a lot of stuff in Spanish from the Latin artists that they were huge back in the day. This album is really a key point in my music journey because it opened the doorway to this type of music that it was really what's the word I'm trying to look at? I'm trying to find out. It was really criticized in the 90s because they say that it was too stupid, too childish, too misogynist, too sexist, too fun. I think that's the key word I'm trying to. It was too fun for the 90s when all of a sudden we all felt like shit. We all decided that we were going to be depressed and feeling down and not without hope, without having fun with music. I think that's the key change that happens in those years when everything went from fun to be depressed, being down, being gloomy, and I don't know. So back in '83, when this album was released, this one was the first one I listened. I listened from these guys, and then the next one that came a couple of years later, and then I discovered the first one they released in '83, and it's Motley's Shout at the Devil. Sorry about the glare. It's really sunny down here. It's of course this is Motley's Shout at the Devil. You all know this album. It's a cool photo of the guys back in the day when Vince was this guy was as thin as he could look, and the other guys were all in their early 20s, I think, maybe. I remember listening to this one many times back in the day, and even the intro got in the beginning. I thought it was wow, that's really cool, that's really menacing, that's really spooky, that's really haunting. Having that intro and then kicking out with Shout at the Devil, and then looks at Kill Bastard, all God bless the children of the beast, too young to fall in love. A cool mix of heavy tunes and really catchy tunes only in one city. And what we were attracted back in the day was the image of the band. It was a cool mix of something that we don't know here. We have guys looking tough, but with makeup, with puffy hair, with eyeliners and stuff like that. Recently, I realized that this thing that Nicky put here, it was because he's a big football fan. The football they play in the States, the sports they play in the States, not the football we know here in the rest of the world. And with a lot of cool Satanist reference, of course the pentagram and some other songs like "Shout at the Devil" and "God Bless the Children of the Beast." And then we realized that it was all just a gimmick, a marketing strategy, a really cool album that helped me to get into this 90s, sorry, 80s LA's sound, LA music, catchy tunes, popular pop influences, good guitars, good vocals, simple lyrics. We back here as you might guess, we have not so much influence of English. We have to look out for the lyrics to and try to understand what they were trying to say. And even though with the lyrics we had some trouble trying to find out what they were trying to say. And it was a fun album to listen back in the day, and it helped me to discover all this cool music that was coming out from Los Angeles. Of course, then came Rad, Dark, and of course, and then we discovered Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, and the list goes on and on. Of course, then it came the Poisons, the Warrants. You can put in the mix even Great White, LA Guns, and later Guns N' Roses, and all that cool type of music that it was really fun thing to listen and to have a good time. I think that's the main difference between the 80s and the 90s. In the 80s you had a good time listening to music, and in the 90s you have a shitty time listening to music because all of a sudden we all wanted to be depressed. But this was a good one to listen back in 83, and I remember listening to this a lot and trying to explain to my parents that no, I'm not a Satanist, I'm not with the devil, I'm shouting at the devil, I'm not shouting with the devil for anything I know, because of course down here when we were bombarded with a lot of media news that came from the States when they say, oh, this kind of music is satanic, they're turning children into Satanists, be aware of this kind of music. I try to explain my parents this was just fun music. I'm not going to go out and burn churches or burn crosses or kill children or kill babies or stuff like that. And just listening to the music, I'm not interested in those things that were appearing in the media back in the day. Just try to imagine a third world country here in the bottom of the world receiving this new music that it was really different from everything that our parents were listening in the 60s and the 70s, with a lot of these images that were really shocking, trying to impress children, that kids back in the day, that they really did. It created a big impact in our youth, but nothing wrong. It was just fun entertainment and just cool music. So this one helped me to get into that area of music, that style of music, that type of music, and it was really big. From 83, when this one appeared, also with the appearance of Def Leppard's Pyromania, and of course then Hysteria, and all the other bands that took that sound from the glam era from the 70s, but added the 80s production and created a huge movement. Then, fortunately, a couple of years ago, it got a big revival, and you can still hear these bands doing well, playing big stadiums like Motley with Def Leppard and Poison, and still having a good times 40 years later. This is a great album, and yes, that's my third pick from the 83. Hope you like it. If you were listening to this album back in 83, I would like to hear what your thoughts about this one, and or other things that you're listening in 83 or around that era. It doesn't have to be 83, and how it helped to develop your music style or your music journey until now. So that's it. That's my third installment. I will have two more. Hope to do it in the next couple of days. Hope you like it. This is Christian down here in Santiago, Chile, saying goodbye till next time. Bye bye.